what you want? And are you
Welcome, all
getting
you no
what
means
you
nerds,
need?
to No Means No Thing, No Means Nothing. You know the drill.
Episode 18.
We are here.
18.
Yeah, episode 18.
Old enough to
actually,
drink
have-
in Manitoba, Quebec, and Alberta.
Yeah, those
Still?
fucking cities. If you don't remember or don't know, or you're already too drunk to remember what this podcast is about, we have the ignominious task, the stupid self-appointed task of trying to figure out the best No Means No song of all time, of which it's a fool's errand. There is none, but we're going to find it anyway. And I'm one of those idiots, Jordan.
I'm Matthew.
Michelle. Hey.
And that's us. So, hey. And now's the time, listener, where you get to say your name out into space, wherever you are, hopefully on public transit. And yeah, it's not going to work, but dumb gimmick. So,
Hey, it did a Magic Garden. Remember when they did that part in a Magic Garden when they pulled out people's names?
That's right.
Really?
Yeah,
Oh,
a
it was some
kid
kids
from
show
way
back in the
day.
70s.
Oh, okay.
No,
Now it's Magic Garden.
I think
I loved
it was a U.S. thing.
Yep.
You wouldn't understand, man.
No, we got tons. We understand you very well. Thank you.
Oh, who's that?
Too well.
that clown?
Too well.
You guys had too many clowns.
You understand us better than we understand ourselves.
You
Unfortunately,
had too many
fucking
clowns,
Canadians.
so that's out. No clowns.
That's why all the best comics are Canadians. They know how to fucking satirize us because they understand us better. We take ourselves too seriously.
Yeah.
So, listen, everybody, here we are back again, episode 18. Holy shit, creeping up on 20, which I don't know. We'll have to have some sort of grand event. No, we won't for 20, but we're creeping up. And
or a secret guest, baby.
oh yeah, maybe so.
Could be.
Shh, don't say. So we're going to talk about what we drink. You know the drill. I'm going to be the usual here. I have not mixed it up this week. So I am my Amarniak. Thank you to the user who I cannot remember their name, but you know who you are, who posted some pictures on our Facebook
I
group
see no.
of some fine bottles of Amarniak.
That's a deep
which I
one. That's at
coveted.
least 3 fingers there.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I'm not going to drink all this because I accidentally poured a lot and I do not want to get sloshed. But maybe I
Right.
know by the
Armagnac
end, and I'll be
accidentally.
Nice. King of the dad jokes.
Mhm.
All right, Michelle, what you got?
I saved another pint from the single bin at the Trader Joe's. I'm going to do
A
another Irish
rescue.
death, and I'm going to pour it right this time.
Okay, give me that. Oh, yeah.
Are you all right? Now I got to put it in an angle because it's not like the Guinness. See there? We're
Oh,
not
she's
getting
doing it
any of
right
that
this time.
Foamy head.
No
crap.
foam disasters.
Nope. I'm doing a
Although
good
that
job.
makes better comedy. We'll let you get away with
Yeah,
it.
that was like 3 inches of foam on the top. It was bad.
1 inch of foam
Look
is
at
not
that.
bad, though. I love a little foamy beer.
Look at
perfect.
that.
Holy
I
shit,
know.
perfect pour.
Nice.
There we go.
Nice.
All right, Matthew, what do
Yeah.
you got here?
Well, I'm going to relate a little story before I talk about what I'm going to drink, just because it is
You always
always
do.
it's a relation
Better take a sip.
to a weird fruit, but this was not one of my weird fruits for a change. There's been a house being built across the street. It's been taking fucking ever. The contractor is mostly Southern Chinese, so they have a good time over there. I think I might have mentioned before how the neighbor across the street has chickens, and the chickens are going bark 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 bark, and then I could hear like different parts of this house that they're building. They really bark 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 bark.
Oh, the guys were doing that in the house.
Imitating the chickens and having a fucking blast.
That's
So I'm like,
fantastic.
I'm like walking along, coming home after work, and there's like 3 or 4 guys. They're kind of squatting down as sort of Southern Chinese and Southeast Asians can only do,
Yeah.
and they're about to crack open a fucking durian. Like
What
Wow.
the hell's
here in
that?
Vancouver,
Where'd they
when
find it?
they're all over, but any
Okay.
Asian market has durians. They're usually frozen.
Oh, right, of course.
But yeah, they're going to crack open a fucking durian. If I hadn't been in a hurry, I would have stopped and asked, because great game of Watch the White Guy. But
Right.
I wish I had an opportunity to stop, because I've never actually had fresh durian. As odd as
I
that
don't
might
believe I
be.
have either.
Yeah,
I've never even heard of it.
durian is about a football-sized, spiky-looking thing. It's got
Yeah.
sort of these brain-looking, custard-colored and custard consistency like lobes inside, and the flavor
Jesus.
is kind of delicious. It's like, I've had frozen durian ice cream. It's like strawberry caramel until the sort of poop and onion kicks in.
Excuse me.
You know, the delicious
What?
poop and onion aftertaste.
It has quite an
Jesus Christ.
aftertaste. Some people describe it as like petroleum. Some people like say garlic, but a lot of people say poop.
You were really selling it.
I know.
Yeah, I know. They call
Yeah,
they call it the king of fruits. So I don't know. I wanted to
Sounds
sit
like
down
King of
and
farts to me.
enjoy it with
Oh my
them.
God.
But, an early English explorer, Malaya, described the experience of eating durian as like eating a garlic melon over a London sewer.
Oh God.
I wish I'd done it. I wish I'd sat down and said, "Hey guys," because they would have gone, "Yeah, you have some."
You
Anyway.
try it. That is a very no means no.
You should
fruit.
get one next time you see him out there. You should join him.
Oh fuck me! So I've only got one
okay.
beer tonight.
All right.
Oh my
well,
God.
Yeah.
I guess there's no choices, but I'm excited to see what it is.
Right there. Ooh,
Oh, nice.
yeah.
Did you get a durian?
I did not get a durian. No. This is a boysenberry sour, but the character on it, it's Fuggles and Warlock. It's a local brewery. They have interesting beers. Is Rei, which is a Japanese kanji, which means beautiful. And so when I saw this beer for the first time, I took a photo of it and I sent it to my ex, who's Japanese American, and her daughter's named Rei, and she never had chosen a kanji for her, and this is the one that she ended up choosing, which is kind of cool.
Nice.
And another cool thing about Rei, this syllable, is a synonym for my favorite Japanese kanji, which means nothingness or zero.
Nice.
So
Nice.
beautiful nothingness. So what
Hey.
more? This is why this is the beer for the No Means
It's
No
the
podcast
official
tonight.
beer, I
It
think.
sure is. It sure is. You found it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it can mean
Very,
ghost,
very
ghost
good.
as well, or void, or
Hey.
zero. Yeah,
The beautiful nothing ghost.
yeah. So here we go.
Excellent. Crack it
Boysenberry
open.
flavored nothing.
Nice.
Oh man.
Beautiful boysenberry flavored nothing.
Yeah.
Well, listener, crack open your beverage of choice, be that sparkling water or whiskey or beer, wherever you may be, and let's dig into 4 more tracks from this motherfucking excellent band. And first of all, I'm not going to apologize for this, but I just want to go on record as saying I am aware that I'm the sole reason this podcast has an explicit
Yeah.
warning on,
Oh,
on
you're not.
iTunes.
You just
Oh
I'm
my
the most
God.
reason.
Oh,
I know
this
I
is
say
funny.
the word. I know I say the word "fuck" about 8 million times an episode. So deal with it. It's part of my vocabulary. I can't help it. I've actually tried before in episodes to say I'm not going to say it as much, and as soon as I start talking, that goes out the window. So fuck it. It's going to be there. I don't think anyone cares, but I just want to be conscious
We
about
gotta
the
start
fact that
doing
Why would you
fuck
be
count.
apologizing for this? To whom
It's
are you
not-
apologizing? It's certainly
I don't
not the
know.
British people listening.
I guess not. But I can't help it. I don't say a lot of other cuss words in typical language, but I say fuck a lot all over the place. Not in front of my kids, luckily, but not yet. I can't wait till I can. But everywhere else. So anyway, fuck it. We're gonna start talking about some
We
songs.
should have
everybody.
we should have a fuck count.
We don't
I
have we never
thought
did the
about it.
order.
Oh no! I'll tell
Oh.
everybody right now
Okay.
what the order is on top of you, and I'll paste it in the chat while we're talking about it. And if I feel the need, I'll edit this out, even though I don't think I will, because I love all the bullshit that happens. So we're going to talk about 2 songs first, as is the norm. We're going to talk about "Self Pity" from Sex Mad, 1986. Interesting little bit of trivia.
Oh,
This
boy.
is the last
Oh, boy.
track
Oh, boy.
on the UK release,
Oh boy.
but the first side of the B track on the US release. So totally different placement on that.
Well,
Which to me
Also,
would
on
have
the
made quite a
the US
difference.
side is B, and the British
right.
Right,
Canadian
yes.
side
Is
is
Slade.
Slade. Thank you.
Is Slade, which I fucking love. So the order for that for this first round, by the way, guys, is going to be me, Michelle, and then Matthew. So Michelle, you're the middle, monkey in the middle, and
Woohoo.
Matthew, you'll play cleanup on this round. And Self Pity is going up against The End of All Things off of You Know It, You Love It, Wrong, 1989. So 2
And
Andy
also-
era tracks.
And also
What?
on Live and Cuddly.
Oh, of course, Live and Cuddly, which we got to talk about, right? That's one of our things.
Right.
We haven't had one of these in a while. I don't think, unless we fucked up and just forgot to talk about it. But we haven't had yes, we did. We had Dave Ever Became Nothing, which was recently, which we kind of dived into it. But yes, we have End of All Things is on Live and Cuddly. Fantastic version. But we'll talk about that when we get there. So end of all things, same. We've got the same order there. So first, we're going to talk about self-pity. So I want everyone to just lie back on their bed, turn off all the lights, get as depressed as you can, and listen to the music clip.
Enjoy some self-love.
Try to help me. I won't help you. Try to help me. I won't help you.
All right, everybody. Well, if you were touching yourself, I hope you were disgusted. So let's dive into this. I'm going to go first. Self-pity. So
Song sucks.
it sucks.
terrible.
Ass. So this song is
boring.
so fucking good. It sits there in a there's like a trilogy for me of these songs. They don't necessarily all thematically go together, but they always, for some reason, have gone together for me. Of this one, Long Days, and Metronome. I know they're
Yeah,
all
me too.
they're all together on the album close, but they all have a similar feeling and sound to them. I think it's that driving, repetitive bass line and everything that goes underneath it. But I can never. Every time one of these songs come on, the other ones just sort of live alongside it anyway, even if I don't listen to them. This is probably, of that triumvirate, the one that I didn't pay as much attention to in the past as I should have. And
Triumvirate?
meaning
what you
like
just said?
three, like a group of three important
Rulers.
things.
Yeah.
New word of the day.
Rulers. Yeah,
New
three
word of
rulers,
the
because
day.
they all fucking rule these songs.
Right.
I maybe didn't give this song as much attention as I should have. And that's, again, grateful for this podcast to have had to sit down and listen to this, front to back, whatever, 20 times. Holy shit.
Yeah.
This song is so good. It has this, starting off with just the drums, getting in that bass line, which is just this, it's not manic. It's just this driving, but very sort of low dread and heavy feeling to it, with this guitar that comes in and just adds these sharp little angles. I love the way the bass and the drum are mirroring each other. And I love the way Andy, as he often will, alters the bass line in the way that he plays off of it, right? Like you've got this really steady rhythm from Rob pretty much the entire time. And Andy's the one that brings the different tone to it, that brings the different flavor and makes the bass line sound different to me throughout the whole song, even though it's pretty much the same throughout the whole song, except for, when it gets into the bridge or something like that. But, oh my God. And before I get to any of the lyrics, I just got to gush about the music more. One of the glitchiest, raunchiest feedback guitar solos in the No Means No Panther. Two of them, actually. This has got to be a mix of, I know, of course, Andy's there, but he's been cluing us in these little Andy corrections to how much John was really the one that would get in and fuck with the production. Like that was his thing that he liked to do.
John's a knob twiddler.
He's a knob twiddler. He's touching himself for fucking sure in this song.
Yeah,
And
I would
between
too
the
if
two
I
of them-
sounded like that.
Jesus, between the two of them, and again, as I often harp about, it serves the meaning of the song perfectly, because you've got these really low, dark rooms sitting in just, in the dark by yourself, just fucking full of self-pity. But then which are these these driving kind of quiet parts. Andy's in the background mic'd with sort of reverb, so he sounded like in a cavernous room all by himself. And these explosions of just sound, these angular, angry fucking sounds that really feel like that manic explosion of self-pity, of self-loathing, as opposed to the sort of depressive feelings of self-loathing and depression. And that last one where it's right, kind of right towards the song's ending, and the music is just fucking going nuts. And it's all over the place. The vocals that Andy's doing underneath, the bass, the drums, the guitar are all over the place, but it all converges together right up to the end to just give you this nice, like you're squeezing the sweetest pimple you've ever squeezed with Andy's like, oh, coming off the end of it. It was just masterful. And we've been, I think not undeservedly, thrown a lot of praise on Andy these last run of songs from this era. And this is another one, man. He's fucking I am finding more appreciation for his vocal delivery than I've always loved it, but there's just another level of appreciation here.
That's where the phrase fucking A came from.
It is. Fucking Andy. That's right.
Because
fucking A.
Yeah.
Exactly. And, lyrically.
You hear that, Kerr?
Yeah. He's listening somewhere. Many of us have probably at least toed up to the line of being in this place. I know I did back in my 20s. This is definitely a song aimed at those years. Talk about cutting classes or shit like that. It's either your high school or college years. It's that feeling. It was kind of that age for these guys, I think. I certainly had my days or periods or weeks or maybe even months where I wallowed in self-pity. So I this
and self-love.
Still. And there's this feeling. This is one of those songs in their pantheon. I think that they especially had a lot of great early examples on that first album, and and certainly later as well. That takes one of those, that insert they have that has "No means no, knows all your sins," and it has all the the listing of all the fucking sins. I think it's in the Sex Mad sleeve. You guys know that what I'm talking about?
You know what that is? Do you know what that is?
It's a chick track. Yeah, which I fucking love. And this song to me is a chick track personified. This little song is pinned on that fucking chart of all of the sins that no means no knows. Exactly. It's the guilty shit that we all feel at one point or another, and it captures it so goddamn well. And I love the way he has the dichotomy between self-pity and self-love. And every time it's self-love, it's self-love. This is not healthy self-love. This is the bitter, nasty, the kind that disgusts yourself. And I absolutely love that he just ends. I was burping.
Trying to burp. Oh,
I absolutely love how he ends with the word self. That is just self.
Oh yeah, that's the snake self.
Not on pity, not on love. He ends with self. That is just it's my God.
It's a snake.
So I've always loved this song, but I appreciate this song 1,000,000 times more now, and it is absolutely a top fucking banger. And one thing I want to say that I forgot to say at the top because I got fucked up because I realized I hadn't given you guys the order. The thing about this matchup, a little meta bit right here, Wrong and Sex Mad are neck and neck with votes. They are tied for votes for and against. So they both have as many songs that have gone through as they have songs that have been rejected. So they're tied. So this vote is going to be the tie, which doesn't matter really, but it's interesting. This is going to be a tiebreaker on Wrong or Sex Mad.
I think I see what you mean now.
To the current place. So anyway, that's all I have to say about self-pity, but holy shit, this song is so good. So Michelle, what do you got? What do you think of this piece of shit song?
I'm being put on the spot about some art. I drew some more googly eyes.
Nice. I love the googly eyes.
Big googly eyes there. I don't think you can see them.
Is there
No, because I'm about to right now. The song should be in the Smithsonian, the Hague, and the Museum of Modern Art.
The Hague? It's a war criminal?
Yeah. No,
well, hey, I like that. I think,
it's being tried, and it's an important place. There's no war about it. The Hague, in a good way. Come on with this song. Oh God.
Sorry, go ahead.
Okay, all right. Come on with this song I wrote. This is a top 3, top 5. It's tops.
Mm-hmm.
I frequently watch this live video still on YouTube. It's called Self-Pity Dortmund, Dortmund. I'm assuming that's somewhere in
it's Germany.
Germany.
The Hague.
That's what. Is it
it's
the
in
Hague?
The Hague.
No.
No, Self-Pity Dortmund, 1991. Please watch
Shit.
this video. It's
Yeah, I'm going to.
amazeballs. This amazeballs video. And if I had enough bras, I'd throw them all up on stage. Rob looks like he's wearing some raunchy sweatpants, and he probably is. It's pretty hard to find a place to do your laundry when you're on tour, so he's got some raunchy sweatpants, but doesn't matter. So part of the musical intrigue that I have with this song is how the emphasis falls on the eighth beat. Or if you're counting in four, it ends up on one of the fours.
Yeah, it fucks
1,
me up
2,
every
3,
time.
4, 5, 6, 7,
Yeah.
8. 2, 3, 4,
So
5,
good.
6, 7, 8. Or 1, 2,
Fuck.
3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. That is so sneaky fucking cool. I'm hoping people have heard this before because that just draws me in. It sucks me into listen to
Yeah.
that. And I think it's so fucking clever.
Absolutely.
The video I mentioned is seriously well done, and sometimes it gets whitewashed, and it looks electric, and it highlights their amazing faces. It's just an epic video to watch. I've watched it again today, actually, and I've seen it countless times, and it makes my hair stand up there on fucking fire. The "just give me my drugs" part it's one of my favorite parts on this song. Not the video, of course, but the parts of that song. But yeah, the video is just icing on the cake. The gizmo Andy uses on that is a Roland device. And while I can't remember the exact model, I do know that it's a relative of the Space Echo. A truly fucking meltdown of epic proportions, and it's a pinnacle piece. This song is a pinnacle piece of art.
Wait, quick question about that video, because
emphatic
maybe I'm
dumping.
100% wrong.
Oh, you gotta watch it.
Was Andy's was all that weird fucking fuzz and the glitching
Yeah.
he did? He did that with his own little box.
Yeah.
Okay, well
it's
then
a
fuck it.
box
John's
that's
not
back to-
responsible. I give you credit, Andy.
No. Watch the video because it's an
I'm going
effects box. It's not a pedal. It's a box.
Right, no,
it's
a box,
mounted on
yeah.
the back of the on the amp where he's dialing in and doing all that. In the video, you can see Andy turned around, his rear end's facing the audience.
Nice.
But just
Nice ass.
watching Andy do that, and he's stationary, but just watching Rob and John, the videos is phenomenal. Oh God, it's so good. So good.
Nice.
Yeah, Andy's got glasses on too, which is always a good look for him, I think. Yeah, I do. I think he looks great in glasses. Love it.
All right, Matthew, how about you?
That beginning, you can describe it better than me, but it's the bass line and the drumming doesn't change, but it's just how the guitar interacts with it that makes you kind of perceive that the accent is in a different spot. And as and then as it sort of locks into what it's going to sort of stay through the rest of the song, pretty much. I don't know how the fuck they do that. There's this little ding on the guitar, and that's when things are going to get crazy. Such tight
Wait,
control.
is he hitting the part of the guitar string above the nut? You mean?
I don't know what he's
might.
doing.
Because he does that sometimes.
Yeah,
it
you
could
get a
be.
really, really kooky sound up
That's
there.
a good pull.
The bass drum and hi-hat and the double snare here and there just is it's so much the same. It's so tightly controlled, but just that every little so often there's an incredible accent that it's not. When you hear a drummer play like that, that it's not that he can't play more because of what he adds is so perfect.
Right.
I love the difference in the sort of a radio effect on Andy's vocals. Sometimes it sounds more echoing and further away, and sometimes it sounds like very, very close up. I sort of figured that that's like an internal voice versus like the actual loneliness that the sort of character is experiencing.
Cool.
Nice.
So it's a song to me about isolation, loneliness, solipsism, though, that is not really considering anything outside himself. It's ego, but helplessness as well. He's sort of lost in this world, and then lashing out about drugs is it's the only thing that helps him maintain this composure. It's sort of like the song itself. There's that constant core through it, and then all these sort of noodly crazy bits, and then the chaotic effects and everything like that. It's just sort of this thing that you maintain, but you can't quite keep it in all the time. and for that reason, I sort of really related to this one. I probably have had this conversation with Andy before because we're both Victoria boys. How it's a very Victoria boy song, and maybe that's what appeals to me about those three songs that you mentioned, because I've definitely sort of connected those as well. That just sort of barely controlled chaos, where it's Victoria's an interesting place because it's quite permissive in many ways, but also very, very restrictive. Very, very sort of traditional in some ways. So it's got like the sort of free for all hippie shit, but then it's also got the really traditional British shit laid over top. So it's sort of like, do your thing, just don't be too ostentatious about it. Like nobody wants to see that. Yeah, it's sort of like I can relate to it because I spent a lot of time sleeping late and cutting classes and just feeling like there was more and sort of just keeping my needle in that groove, but wanting to sort of explode out. And I think that my favorite part of the song is that guitar effects thing where it just gets crazier until it's just that very like mechanical sort of sine wave. Yeah, and then it just fucking stops. And there's nothing but the drums going like doom, 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 ba-doom, ba-doom, doom, doom. It's like right back into that groove that has actually never stopped through the whole thing.
Yes.
Right.
So yeah, I don't know, just that dichotomy between self-love, masturbation, self-loathing, and that you just can't have any effect on anything. You just have to be yourself. You let it out once in a while, but you have to do it in secret, and mostly it's just that tight control all the time. So it'll be interesting to see what Andy says about that.
Yeah.
Oh, he better write a book about that, because that's it. That's where it's
You're totally right about that solipsism, right? Like there's that line of, you try to help me, I won't help you. It's very explicit about, I can't reach out. I'm not going to reach out and fucking help anybody else except being with my own fucking self. Yeah, that's a good call.
What is that, like narcissism? Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, it's just completely
like
self-involved. Like someone who's
nothing
really
else exists.
solipsistic. Nothing. Yeah, like solipsism at its most extreme is thinking I'm the only thing that actually exists in the world. Yeah, that's it. And so it's kind of like narcissism, but more divorced almost. Narcissism, you want the attention of everyone else. Solipsism is almost like nothing else exists but me.
It's more like autism.
And they could be, yeah. That's a good point.
And then Andy's sort of whiny, self-pity, self-love. He's making fun of himself. And then, I was looking, actually, I found that very interesting. I'd written the same thing down, that the US and then the Canadian UK versions, B-side, Slade side, were different song orders. And I was familiar with the American one because I got to know this on CD. So, I think it would have been quite a different experience if the whole album had ended on that ba-doom-doom-doom. Yeah, that the song ends with, because that would have been the last song on the album. Yeah, and I kind of wish it had been for me. But anyway, just one of those things where the song order, we've mentioned it so many times, where the song order really affects how you take the song in.
Yep.
All right, I'm done.
All right, well, let's move on to another shitty song. I don't think anyone likes this one. This one's called "The End of All Things." So everyone, I want you to sit back and get ready to listen to a clip of this one and listen for the angels singing in this one.
This is the end of all things.
all things Ron Livingston, and the Live and Cuddly. Holy shit. Another super classic No Means No song. It's kind of hard to say that any song off of Wrong isn't classic, right? We've covered some songs, B-sides, early ones, stuff that we wouldn't necessarily put in that pantheon. I don't know if this is anybody's favorite song, but it's a classic. Everybody knows it, and it's fucking great. And listen, if this song, when the four horsemen of the apocalypse do finally crack open through the sky and come down, which, let's be frank, is probably going to happen any fucking day now if things keep going like they are. If this is not what's playing when that happens, I want my fucking money back, because this is an absolutely wonderful, angelic, apocalyptic tune. And again, another of their fine apocalyptic tunes. They have a number of them. And this is a great one. It's fucking fantastic. I do prefer the Wrong recording over the Live and Cuddly, even though I love the Live and Cuddly almost exclusively for two reasons. One, the female vocals, which I think really, 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 really add to it. Mm-hmm. And the breakdown at the end. I absolutely love what's a near minute and 11 seconds worth of breakdown as the song fades away and breaks into entropy and to other things. That's not the same in the Live and Cuddly version, even though I love that. It's fucking full of energy and it's amazing. The song's amazing live. When I think the one time I got to see him play it live, not with Andy. But a brilliant, brilliant song. I love how Rob's voice is, like, all the instruments are mic'd really up front, really fucking loud, and yet Rob is a little bit distant, like a voice from the clouds. Mm-hmm. And that female vocal with him is almost a little more, at least in my ears, a little more out front than Rob. And they sound so fucking good together.
That's interesting.
It's so fucking good.
She's really singing.
She's really singing.
Oh, she's belting it out.
Really singing.
Mm-hmm.
And one of my favorite parts of the song is when they're building up to that last chorus and everything falls away and you just get that one, the bass is just doing its line, or I think it's the bass, and the guitar comes in. And I love how on each of those choruses, how the bass and the guitar start off together, then the bass drops down an octave. And it's just these amazing angelic bells, that are just it's pealing from the heavens. It's fucking beautiful. This song
played by Mark Critchley, by the way.
What are
the bells?
Are there? I don't hear.
There's no bells
in this
on
song.
There.
Apparently, there's bells because it says so.
I don't hear any bells. That's amazing.
Does it say that in the liner notes?
Wow! If they're playing bells, they're going right in with the goddamn the bass line, because that's incredible. I know he was the Totalitarians on The Fall, but I had no idea he was doing that on this. And
he's got the paper.
Nice. Mm-hmm. So listen, in terms of lyrics on this one, another song that I don't know that there's a lot to analyze on this. There's not a lot of lyrics to it, but it's a great song about the end just being nothing, not an event that's this huge revelation, not an event of a rapture. And yet this is a song that sounds very celebratory in a way, or you could either hear it as celebratory or menacing, but the end point of it is nothing. Here I see nothing. Their apocalypse usually comes down to nothing, which from an existentialist perspective makes sense. This feeling that, when you die, when it's really the end, it's really nothing. There's not another world waiting for you. There's nothing else waiting for you. It's I see here nothing. But also that feeling of realizing that there's nothing can either be a very freeing feeling or a very oppressive feeling, depending on where you're standing on any particular day. And I think this song, to me, captures both of those expressions. I could hear it as something very joyous in a way, and also something as very menacing in a way. But musically and lyrically, again, it's all fucking of a piece. It goes together so well. And the music is so fucking tight. The production is so tight. And I love the ending. I'm sure everyone here has, but just spend some time next time you listen to the song, really carefully listening to how it's kind of like Slade in that way, how there's a lot going on until the very last bit fades out. They've got some really great fucking bass riffs, Andy's little fucking thing on the guitar.
The ditty.
It's fucking great. All the way until he just gives a little bit of last bit of fuzz as he goes out. It's fantastic. And they don't have a lot of songs that fade out like that. I think this is one of a handful that do that
Right.
sort of fade.
That
Most
do
of them
the
sort of
fade out,
either
right.
they either Mobius strip back around so that you've got the first riff at the end, or it just cuts out. But this, I love. This is one of those great handful of songs that does a great fade out and gives you all sorts of Easter eggs as you're on your way out the door.
Right.
So I love it. It's a classic, absolute classic.
Are there bells?
Some bells for me.
Well, in the liner notes it says, let's see, it says background vocals by Daniel Gagne on The End of All Things, and then it just says bells by Mark Critchley, but I'm not sure if that refers specifically to the song. I can't think of any other place on
No
Wrong where there's
shit.
bells, but it definitely says bells.
Huh.
Bells.
If there's anybody listening to this episode who might happen to know anything on the inside about
Chimes,
production,
maybe?
maybe you could let us know where the bells
It says
fell in.
bells.
It says bells. I want
Hell's
to know where them
bells.
bells is. All right, Michelle.
Hell's bells says
you're
the
up.
woman wearing a AC/DC t-shirt.
All right. Yeah.
Way to hell.
I love
All right,
my
Mich-
Angus. I love Angus.
Did you
Michelle,
guys see my t-shirt?
No, what
can't.
is it? Can't adult today.
Boy, I'm
I
feeling that.
understand. Did you wear that to work?
No. I don't
Oh.
wear anything that I like to work.
I was going to say you don't wear anything to work.
I was going to
What
say
kind
that's
of
what
job
I
you
was
got
imagining. Like, oh, he's
Whoa.
that kind
Whoa.
of work.
My work makes me filthy and dirty and sweaty.
Ooh.
So
Yes. That's actual
All right.
work.
All right, Michelle.
All right. Let's start this doozy out with a
Check
fat
this out
ass
these
drop
days.
of our threatening tritone. Oh, look at Matthew showing us
Showing us his biceps from all the heavy
his
lifting he's doing.
guns.
I moved 4
Stop,
freaking cars
Matthew.
today with a
That's pretty
forklift.
impressive, man.
Yeah.
You moved cars with a forklift?
Full of
Yeah.
bird shit.
Yep. Anybody in Vancouver, you know that totem pole with the cars on it?
Yeah, I do know that.
I've been real,
And I'm not from there.
I've been real up close and personal with that thing. It's filled with bird shit.
Did you put cars on the totem pole?
No, we took them down though.
Holy shit, you got something to do with
He
that?
was involved in art destruction, not art construction.
It's being cleaned and moved.
Oh, Matthew, how cool are you?
But I'm fairly
I know
certain
exactly
it gave me
that
all
thing.
that. I should have been wearing breathing protection because I'm fairly certain all that up close to all that pigeon shit gave me the sinus infection I'm suffering from, which you can probably hear.
Uh-oh.
I did think you sounded a little stuffy, but hopefully it's not pigeon shit up your nose.
I hope not.
Yeah, respirators, I guess. Anyways, after I want to see your guns again. That's pretty cool. All right, like I said earlier, this starts out with a doozy with a fat ass drop of a threatening tritone, and instant anxiety and coolness. That's what Rob's playing. He's playing the track. Boom, 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 boom.
Yep.
That the first and the third note of the tritone. The second note is a fourth. I'll stop there. Anyways, Rob is just so farty and forceful, and his bass tone is fucking unreal. John again sounds like a freight train on the loose. And Andy's crunchy angularity on the guitar is total obliteration of your ears, and it's amazeballs. It took me a while, I'm gonna say it, to really enjoy the female voice mixed in with Rob. It's sung in unison, an octave apart, and gives this a heavenly feeling. I now embrace it. I think it's wonderful. The ending of the song is just glorious, and some of John's drum fills. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
When I listened to it, I was like, "What the fuck? What the fuck?"
No, that shit makes
It's
me want
just
to work
like-
on my rolls all the time.
I don't know. And what's he got? Like, how many fucking toms does he have? Like 3 or 4?
He has 3.
Yeah, okay. Oh, holy
Yeah.
shit.
Yeah, I know.
He's got a snare, a bass drum, 3 toms. He's got the crash cymbal, which he uses a lot. And then he's got the hi-hat and the ride. Does he even have a ride cymbal?
Yeah, he's got
He
a
must.
ride. I think he's got a pretty standard setup, and maybe he's got an extra cymbal, but generally
He's got
it's
3 toms.
yeah, one bass pedal.
Jesus
Please remember
Christ.
one fucking bass pedal.
Yeah, exactly.
One-
This is not a
Yeah.
double bass pedal fucker. It sounds like
Oh,
he's got 6 bass pedals.
My
but
God.
Nope, you don't need them.
Oh my God. I am really just falling in love with John so much because of this podcast. My first love was Rob because he was bass and I was just Rob. And anyways, there's more about that later. But the heavenly feeling, the ending of the song is glorious. Some of John's drum fills are incredibly sick. and I wrote some googly eyes there. I was always intrigued with the very end with that faraway guitar bit that you were talking about, Jordan, and I thought it was an extremely clever way to fade the song out. It's kind of scary too, in a way. Just it's kind of like, what's going to happen next? And I'll tell you what's going to happen next. Oh yeah. Do I have to say it? This whole album is gloriously exhausting.
Ugh,
And
That's
that's
a-
why I have a tattoo of it on my body.
That's a good phrase.
that's a
Gloriously
good
exhausting.
phrase.
Much
It
like our
is.
podcast.
Yes. Heavy on the exhausting part.
Yeah. 40 minutes in and we've talked about 2 songs. And I haven't even
Jesus.
Oh
gone.
All right.
no! Do you want to?
And he hasn't even got. We
We
haven't even done. No, we don't. Are you kidding me?
I might need another beer for Christ's sake.
I might just
So-
open up another one, actually. It was a really hard date,
Yeah.
like I say. So.
So, Matthew,
Moving cars.
we're not at the end of all things yet because we need to hear your take on this.
Yeah, I don't have a whole lot to say about the song. I think, lyrically, it's pretty straightforward. Beauty and nothingness. I love the vocals all the way through. Again, Danielle Gagne. I wonder whether she was a friend of theirs or whether somebody they contracted. Probably a friend of theirs. Wonder what she's up to today,
Yeah.
or if she's
Right.
listening. Hi, Danielle. If so,
Hey, yeah.
hey, wait
kicked
a
ass.
minute. There's a Hanson song with Danielle. They talk about Danielle in a Hanson
She
song.
doesn't love hockey.
No.
Oh,
Oh.
someone's girlfriend, John.
If it's gonna be anyone, it's probably John. You're right.
Right.
Yeah.
Gadfly.
The bridge is pretty. This is one of the few No Me songs I can think of off the jump where obviously the drumming and all the playing is incredible, but it's very, very in unison. It's hard to pick out one sort of track or the other, especially during the
Right.
really, really chaotic part. It's very, very energetic, but they're all playing together and they're all playing the same
Right.
thing, and it's all quite,
Yeah.
quite repetitive in that way. So for that reason, I think the song, especially because it follows Tired of Waiting and Stock Taking, I never really paid that much attention to it because it's last song on side A. Yeah, but I love Rob's howling. The second bridge is beautiful. Of course, the tom rolls towards the end are fucking. I don't even understand what he's doing.
Get
most of the time.
out of town.
Fuck
Just
off, John.
Yeah.
Jesus. Not supposed
The
to
hell?
hog all that goddamn talent.
No shit.
Yeah. But yeah,
Fuck.
all that's here, pain and fear. Fear, what is fear? Nothing's here. Okay. Yeah. All right. So much in common with so many other songs. This is very
Dr.
kind
Seuss
of
going on.
straight on
Right.
in. I mean, I broke up the stanzas there, but yeah, that's sort
okay.
of, yeah, very much in the No Me So's wheelhouse thematically. And yeah, I love the last thing. How Peter's out so chaotically, and the last thing you hear is noodling. It's like,
Yeah.
there's
Yeah.
nothing, but we're still like deedling around on our fucking guitars. and
Yeah.
shit.
Yeah.
The live and cuddly version, it's not too different, really. It's faster, like most of the songs on live and cuddly seem to be. Andy doing the backing vocals, at least for part of it. But
It's adrenaline.
the thing that kind of unfortunately bums me out a little bit is because it's the last song on live and cuddly. And then they're ending it and they say, "Thanks for coming out. Thanks for having fun." It's like, yeah, see you later, blah, blah, blah. So it reminds me of being bummed out that the show's over.
Oh, that's
I always feel
cute.
that at the end of that album too. That kind of feeling of like, oh no, come on, guys. Yeah.
And so many of the songs on Wrong, unfortunately, and this has sort of colored it for me. Wrong broke them, I'd say, where a lot more people started coming to their shows and everything like that. And those are the songs that people remember. Those are the songs that people love. Those are the songs that people who aren't as big nerds as us, and probably most of the people listening, think are like the creme de la creme. And in many ways they are, but to me, maybe not so much. I got annoyed by Wrong songs at live shows because those were the ones where
Hey, oh, won't
Peop-
you play?
people
Another
turned
somebody?
into dicks when a Wrong song came on. This was a very much a go crazy mosh song, and people used it as an excuse to start throwing elbows. And No Me
That's a good
So,
point.
luckily, really liked like
Oh,
their
I don't
crowds
like
and
hearing
everything.
that.
They would kind of fucking do shit to people and about people who were
What?
being problematic.
Yeah, for sure.
Which is always really good. But yeah,
It was great.
this song, it's unfortunately one of those ones that I kind of associate with being just like, oh fuck, just don't fuck it up.
Oh,
Bunch
you
of
gotta,
assholes,
we gotta have a seance. You gotta get rid of that.
yeah,
Now,
I
come
know,
on.
yeah.
Yeah.
All right, yeah, that's about it. All I have to say about the end of all things. That's the end of Matthew's ranting.
Thing.
Yeah.
That's the end of all things and the beginning of our voting round.
And about
So-
halfway through my beer.
Yeah, so it
Yeah,
doesn't.
me too.
It doesn't sound like this is going to be a very contentious vote. Although I will say up front, since I'm the first one up, in past years, I would have absolutely probably have said "End of All Things" without a hesitation, for many reasons. I think of late, and especially listening to it this time, it was like, oh no, Self Pity is way better. I mean, there's no shade on End of All Things. It is an amazing song, but Self Pity is more. It is deeper and broader, and it's just more. So for me, the vote is Self Pity for sure. Michelle, what's your vote?
As a representative of the Smithsonian, the Hague, and the Museum of Modern Art, I would like to vote for self-pity.
Excellent. That's 2 votes and a win.
Thank
for
you.
Self-Pity.
You know,
That is.
my lovely wife Lisa, she, especially now that I'm working full time again, has expressed a certain amount of jealousy of the podcast because I actually enjoy it. I enjoy spending time with you guys and all of the listeners. And she feels bad, but she's a little bit jealous because I take it quite seriously, and I always
Well,
make
bring her down
time
here.
for it.
Have her
No,
show
that's the
up.
thing. That's the thing. It had never occurred to me that during the listening portion, we can fucking listen together. And I got some new speakers recently, so this was the first time where I sat down and we can just spend half an hour and listen to the songs, and I can hear what she thinks. And
Oh, that's romantic as hell.
I'm voting for Self Pity because it's been a favorite of mine for a very long time. But Lisa listened to me. She's actually a No Means No fan as well, but she kind of stopped after maybe wrong. But they she had those albums. Doesn't know the Latter Day catalog very much at all. But yeah, she said there's more texture to Self Pity, and she is basically expressing exactly what I feel as well. That the End of All Things, it's a great song. All No Means No songs are great, but it's a little simpler and maybe a little blander in some way. It just hasn't got quite as much flavor as Self Pity.
Flavor Flav.
Yeah, so
Ain't got that stank.
yeah,
So 4 votes for self-pity is what you're
4
saying.
votes
Exactly.
for Self-Pity.
yep.
Yeah.
Wow.
All right. Well,
Wow. And
there
my
you have it,
cat
folks.
votes for it too. Right,
one
Gregson?
extra vote, especially so unfortunately, The End of All Things is really going to hell.
Oh.
Even though we love it. It's a great song. It's a great song. All right. Well, listen, this is our demarcation point where everyone can take a little breather and yell at us for making the wrong choice, pat themselves on the back for making the
Shit,
same
do I gotta
choice
get
we
ready?
make. You got to get ready because we're going to put our money where our mouth is. And actually, this is the time for our listener segment, which Matthew, while Michelle's getting ready, why don't you regale our listeners with what we still want them to do because we still want more and need more of these.
Thank you all so much for your submissions. We are very apologetic that we only figured out last week that we could listen to them as we play them, which we actually much prefer. No, it's not your fault at all. No, we just didn't know it was possible.
The
so
technology
we just
wasn't there.
So anyway, it is possible, and we like it much better. And we apologize to those of you who went before. We applaud and salute your pioneering spirit. So we would very much like you guys to keep submitting the 3 questions, and you can kind of elaborate around them. But your No Means No origin story, what No Means No means to you, and if you have a sort of personal story that's about No Means No that's at a show or something that has a personal connection to you, you can separate those 3 questions into individual files or mash them all together. If you need any technical help, please ask us. If you want to write it out and have one of us read it as we are about to do, you can do that as well. So please send your submissions to nomeansnothingpodcast@gmail.com, and I will check it, or Jordan will check it, or Michelle will be told that we've checked it.
Yeah. Because I am, what do you call me? A Luddite?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Oh,
You're
such a
token
Lud. Such a Lud. Oh, God. Yeah, so let me preface what I'm going to read by saying that this fella, Jurgen, I think I'm saying this right with
Jurgen!
umlaut. Jurgen Dahl. Jurgen Dahl. He is someone I met online probably back in 2003. I've never met this guy. And it was the same place I met all of you fuckers. Everybody I know, most of you, on the No Means No forum, or the, what was the one before that? Friends of Incentive. God,
Friends
do you
of
remember the
Incentive, yep.
Friends of Incentive?
I remember
was
that
on
at
that
my.
too.
I remember the at
And
my
at
desk.
my
Sarah
desk,
Francis.
yep, Sarah Francis. Yep, that was the first thing.
That was
When
the
I had
first thing.
access to the internet, the first
94,
thing
I
I
think.
tried to Google was No Means No. I tried to Google it, and
That's how
it showed up there.
Well, you
Yeah,
didn't.
That's how I
because
found
Google
Andy.
didn't exist in 1994, but okay.
No,
I
asked-
searched or whatever the
asked-
fuck.
I asked Jeeves it and found it. That's how I found Andy. And the first email conversation I had with him, we were emailing. I emailed him. He emailed me back, and he was talking about having his kid watch Elmo. So we know how far away that is because his kid is now a full-grown college graduate. So anyway,
Yeah, he is.
keep going.
Yeah, I don't know. I look. There was no Google. There was no Jeeves. It was a search.
Yeah, there was.
bar
There was
or
like Yahoo
something.
and Jeeves back then. I think.
Yeah, Yahoo and
Was
Jeeves.
there? Whatever. And she just had
Anyway,
pictures, and she had
Search
pictures
monkey.
of the band like on stage. I'm like, who the fuck is this chick? And how come she gets to stand up there and I don't?
Sarah!
Yep.
Where the hell?
So, anyways, I met Jurgen. Like, I met him over the internet. I should say, back probably 2002, maybe. I don't know, a long time ago.
Yeah.
So I messaged him the other day and said, "Hey, man, why don't you put something on our podcast and I'll read it out for you?"
He's a big hockey nerd.
And he
So
is a
does he
total
talk.
big hockey nerd, and that's actually in his words here, and I am too. And he's actually mailed me the Slapshot movie. Yeah, have you watched that yet, Jordan? You fart face. Have you
yeah, of
watched
course.
that yet? Oh, have you?
Oh hell yeah!
Did you
of course.
finally watch that?
Yeah.
The Slapshot movie?
Yeah.
He mailed me the Swedish version of the movie flyer with all the Swedish words in it. It's fucking amazing. He sent me a lot of stuff. So this is from him. I asked him if I could read it in the style of the Swedish Chef, and
He did not answer, so you'll do it anyway.
no, he did. He's like, when the Muppets were over in Sweden, like everybody loved the Swedish Chef. It was like it was like they fucking loved the Swedish Chef. Yeah, do you want to read the?
Bork, 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 bork.
Everybody loves the Swedish Chef. All right,
Did
let's
that
hear it.
voice? Was it Jim Henson or Frank Oz? Who did it? Was it Jim
I
Henson?
don't know. I think it's Jim Henson, but I could be wrong.
That seems like
Could be a
Frank
Frank
Oz.
One of
I'd
those
like to be
two.
wrong, so.
Anyways, it's fucking great. Anyways, here's what Jurgen says in an American accent. I won't do the Swedish Chef, but we're gonna give a nod to him. So Jurgen says, I met a guy in high school in 1991 or 92 who was also into punk, especially Ramones and DK, like me. One day he brought a bunch of records from Alternative Tentacles, including The Day Everything Became Nothing. I didn't quite get it then, but I played it a few times before returning the albums.
He borrowed them. He borrowed them.
Did he? Oh! I guess I thought he bought them from the store and he returned them. I was like, the hell? I'm not going to talk to him anymore. Yes, but okay, so he borrowed the. Sorry, he played it a few times before returning the albums, and the name and the title stuck with me. When Mr. Happy came out, I read about it in a record catalog. Remember those? And it said it was the best one since Wrong. I hadn't heard Wrong by then, but I took a chance and ordered it. Did I fall in love? Nope. Too long and heavy songs for my liking then. But Cat, Sex, and Nazis was cool. I kept playing it now and then though, and it grew on me. 2 years later, I was done with school and military service. I had a job, my own place, and started going to hockey. I discovered Hanson Brothers around that time and got Gross Misconduct and the punk rock one. A few years later, I gave the music guys at the hockey arena a copy of the Sudden Death song, which they still play sometimes. I found Worldhood in that same catalog as Mr. Happy, bought it, and was blown away. When Dance came out, I had a new favorite band. I can't remember if I got Mr. Right and Mr. Wrong before Dance or not, but Wrong was like my fourth or fifth album I bought. I saw Hanson Brothers in my town in 2002, but didn't get to see No Means No until around 2007 in Stockholm.
God damn.
I got to see them again. I got to see them again twice in Trondheim, Norway, and I'm always grateful for that. And I will read this because it does say like how he knows people, but he says, I've always been on the shy side, but love the message board on No Means Whatever site, even if I didn't post that much. If it wasn't for that, I probably wouldn't have you and the other No Means nerds as Facebook friends. And I should say also personally, he took a picture. He's taken several pictures of Rob. One of them is something I have up on the wall, and the second one is one of my absolute favorite pictures of Rob, and it's my desktop photo on my computer at home and my computer at work.
Nice.
Rob.
Well, that was awesome.
Jurgen.
Good story. Thanks, Jurgen.
Thanks, Jurgen.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Our Swedish chef.
Our Swedish chef. Nice for this wonderfully global
Haj.
audience.
I call him Haj.
Still waiting for our Iranian listeners to pipe in if you can at all.
And Indian. There's a bunch of Indian listeners.
Right? Like, give us some love. Just tell us, right? Send us an email. You know, we don't have to read it because they don't say it because I don't know why, but I just want to hear from you. It's awesome. Thank you for
We're
listening.
going to have to go there and find them.
Yeah. That's one idea.
1.5 billion people there.
I think Michelle's a little too high. Speaking of which, our next round is up, and we're
coming up at an hour, so we better fucking.
We better fucking do it. Yeah. So we are, and I haven't even spliced in the songs yet, so that adds in at least another 10 minutes. So we have 2 more songs here, of course, and we're breaking up the run of Andy era songs here with one called "A Little Too High" off of One from the year 2000. Up against, dipping back into that wrong juice. Oh no, Bruno. Wrong. 1989. You know it. So, we're flipping the script this time. Well, not, I mean, this is on script, but flipping the order. Matthew gets to go first, then Michelle, then myself. So first, before we let Matthew talk about it, I want everyone to put their thumb on the plunger in their inner thigh.
So excited. I get so frightened. And it's not fear I see in your eyes. I haven't slept for weeks. The grinding of my teeth keeps me awake. What is the malaise on which my state is predicated? Could I be a little over?
All right, Matthew.
This is one of those songs that one I never connected with because it came out while I was away and I couldn't get it while I was living in Japan. I couldn't find it and wasn't really into listening to music very much when I came back. So, but yeah, again, this song, this podcast, I should say, forces me to sort of back in and boy, oh boy, do I like this song all of a sudden. Got a whole lot to say. A little too high. It's a little too long, but that is the whole fucking point. It makes it better,
right?
Because when you're too high, you want it to fucking stop.
Right.
Yeah, no, it's an interesting pairing between, and forgive me for kind of going back and forth here, but that A Little Too High and Oh No, Bruno, they're kind of similar in 2 ways in that they're both extreme behavior. So A Little Too High, it's sort of like party boy from the perspective of a party boy who is a utter fucking degen predator. And then Bruno is just a party boy who is just an idiot. So,
Huh.
yeah. Again, this was an interesting one to listen to with Lisa because she had some really great comments. She said, "I didn't know they were so jazzy," and this song
Well,
kind of goes
what?
back to a lot of the stuff on that I really really like is like self pity on Sex Mad, in that there is a bass riff that doesn't change. It's like going through the whole song pretty much,
It's a heartbeat.
which is fantastic.
Mm.
So this is a great quote from Lisa. I think they must have gone from this to the same John Zorn around 1998 and John Zorn show at the Knitting Factory, where I saw Joey Ramone, a girl on each arm, and Thurston Moore was there too, all with his big head. But no, who cares? Joey Ramone.
Oh, that's great.
Anyway, yeah, the other quotation from Lisa here is like a circus sideshow, you can't stop.
Right.
And that's kind of very very descriptive of the song. I mean, there's so much going on. I've never figured out kind of what drug they're referring to. Is it heroin? Is it they talk about quartz and stuff like that, so maybe it's something more crystalline. But ultimately it's like it doesn't really matter. It's by the end of the lyrics, it's sort of like the division between what's the drug and what's the person gets kind of eroded, and that's pretty interesting. So also interestingly, there's a whole verse missing from the lyric sheet of one. Yeah, whole section is
Again,
missing. Yeah, the
fucked
whole one
up, Rob,
that
you
ends
fucked
in cocaine psychosis
Don't
that isn't
you
in there. So
dare talk about him like that.
Hey, man, I love him, but when he fucks up, I'll call him on it. He don't
No,
fuck
he
up.
does not. He's perfect.
Nope.
such great guitar texture. I mean, Tom is
Holy
very
shit.
much doing
Yes.
kind of. I don't want to say it's Andy as shit, but just like the effect
Well,
is more.
but it is.
Yeah, the effect is more like the point is not the playing so much as the feeling it's creating in some of it. Yeah,
Skeeter.
absolutely fantastic. Some of the lyrics in this are just really, really evocative. And again, like I hadn't really sort of sat down and read through these lyrics so carefully, especially not, probably not in the last 10, 15 years at least, but like, don't you prefer a bitter taste to a bitter taste to a bitter sight?
I know I do.
Yeah. I mean, the difference between sight and taste, you have to touch a taste.
Wait, what? You don't have to touch a taste, do you?
Sure you do.
You
in
have to
order
have contact.
physical
to taste.
contact with it in order
There has to be
taste something.
contact.
Oh,
If you're
right.
kissing someone, you taste. You have your eyes
Yeah.
closed. Or
Right.
you get your tongue in their mouth.
So taste and touch
Okay.
are much more
Tonsil hockey?
like yeah.
Well, that's what it's about. That's that lyric is about them. They're Frenching, and he's like, "But close your eyes. I don't want to look at you."
They're Frenching, and it just doesn't matter. It's just part of the drug trip. It's a little too high, and he's taking advantage of that. So much, darkness, and then like the silly bridges in the Tweedly guitar. I mean, I guess maybe that's the up of the high and everything like that. And the rest of,
Tweedly guitar.
but I mean, there's so much language. Broken wings for eyebrows. So much beautiful, fragile, broken female imagery with this fucking predator that's just looking to get what he can and move on. And that's exactly what he does. At the end, I almost miss you. The girl goes away to another bed. Oh well, I got what I needed. Yeah. The way the song stops when he's talking about fighting the right cross,
Yes.
and then everything just stops. It's
Collide over the right cross.
yeah.
That's so good.
You can see. You can see. You say you see frost on my breath through my
phony frozen smile.
It's so
I don't have any idea what you're talking about.
scary.
Those lyrics are.
The
chef's
character
kiss.
that he's evoking is just a monster, but it's not a monster who is. He's riding the high as well. He's just taking advantage and everything but he's definitely a predator. Tom's solo is very Sobis Giants like, which is pretty cool. And then the silly shit like blah 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 ha ha, and he's actually scatting at one point.
Oh my god, I love that
Oh
part so
yeah,
much.
that is so funny. That's not scatting. That's just
Yeah, no, there
Blubbering.
is a bit where he's actually scatting. And then the guitar moves over to the left channel, and just like
Yep.
that disorientation.
Great production.
Great production. So I need to listen to this album more. I think this could be
Yeah,
any
I did
city.
too.
It's
I
very
did
very
too,
dark.
dude.
But it could be any city. But all I see is Vancouver, and that's where they were living when this song would have been written. And Vancouver can be a very 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 dark place. Anyway. The melting part where the whole song just kind of melts like wax after the cocaine psychosis line, just like, and then they fucking pull it back together and right back into that same fucking groove. Anyway, great song. I could say a lot more about it, but I'm gonna shut up now.
Nice. Yeah, shut up. You can take all our best lines.
Nah, he can speak for me. I'll let him speak for me.
That was fucking great. All right, Michelle, what do you got to say on this one? I'm
All right,
actually
I'll
really
say
curious.
it quick. Oh,
Don't be quick.
okay.
Just take your time.
Okay, no, I'm gonna just read my paper. I got my
right.
rights. It's curly and fucking sneaky. Rob sounds demented, and it totally fits the music. Jesus, this really is a great song. So intriguing and cool, with quirky little bits thrown in there. I can't stop smiling when I listen to it. Rob again is playing a repeating bass line, but it never gets boring or tiring on your ear. Tom really does some exceptional guitar work in this. Both Rob and Tom weave this swirling canvas for John to seriously lay down some extremely cool
Weave is a
jazz
great
drumming.
Grieve is exactly the right word.
Exactly. Fucking John
Yep.
on this song.
Oh my God! Here we
shit.
had it's the John show. Here we go
They
again.
just fucking let him go. Yeah,
He's with 3 floor toms. Fucking hell. He does some extremely cool jazz drumming, and it's a treat to listen to. I seriously love all the absurd googly noises and the demonic laugh. You didn't even talk
Oh
about
my
the
god.
fucking laugh.
I
he
was
does.
going to talk about it, but yes.
All right, that's all I'm gonna say. Okay, the demonic laugh.
No, say it.
That we've all heard it. We love it. So many overtones in his laugh. Listen to it with some good ears. I would have been just beside myself if I could have seen them record this. Hilariously cool.
Hell yeah. Jesus Christ.
All right,
Yeah,
you're up.
I'll see what else I have left because both of you guys have said most of what I want to say, which is right on point.
You know what,
think this
guys?
is-
I think
another
I
beer?
need to open another beer.
All right, open it up.
Stiff jam.
Yeah,
I'll
it's
begin
a stiff
my
jab pale ale.
I'll begin my rant while you crack open a beer.
I need to
here.
get a fridge down here. This is not fair.
So I
I
think
bought a
this
fridge
is
yesterday. I bought a mini fridge yesterday.
Oh shit.
I think this is a late period masterpiece. If we're to
Yeah.
call this late period, this song is absolutely incredible. I definitely think this is Tom's best song. I feel like
Oh,
he
he
has
sounds
the
great.
most. It's the most Tom forward song, and he is brilliant. And yes, it's not fair to compare him to Andy, but what it does different than a lot of his other work is it does what Andy did a lot, which is paint in the cracks in a way that was gorgeous, not just serving the bass line, not just serving the song, but painting up the cracks in a way that serves the meaning of the song. This frenetic craziness of
Skeeter.
the drug trip, of charting the drug trip. And the other thing, we've talked, a lot has been said about that already, which is all totally on point. One thing I loved about it, from my very limited experience with amphetamine adjacent drugs, which I really think this is pointing to more than any sort of heroin. This does not sound like a heroin style song. This sounds like a crack, meth, cocaine song.
Yeah.
Two of which I have some limited experience with. There is, and
Oh,
first
how
of all,
about that?
First of all, I want to go on record as saying maybe not last week, but one of the last weeks when we did
You had some crack?
when we did Ooze, I said that I thought it had the most lyrics of any No Means No song. Of course it doesn't. This song has the most lyrics of any No Means No song. Rob has more lyrics per 4 seconds in this. He does not fucking stop barreling you with.
That's cocaine. It's got
Well, but this is what I'm saying. Like, he's not
The
doing it,
cocaine
but he is putting that feeling into the song. But not only that, often when you're on one of those sort of drugs, speaking from some ancient experience, you can be so amazingly erudite. You can put together beautiful beautiful phrases. You can put together beautiful turns of phrase, come up with amazing concepts, all of which in the end are just empty as fuck. And that's what I love about the lyrics in this song. There are verse to verse some of his most beautiful imagery, and yet it's all in the service of something completely empty and sinister. So it's beauty at the service of something fucked up. And Matthew, to your point about like him being a predator, those last lines, oh, I don't want to love you. I just want to rise above you. Hi. That's the end. That's his last little statement, which is like, yep, that's the whole fucking song. I'm not interested in anything. No, of course it's not Rob. This is not Rob. No, this is him commenting
never say such things.
But Jesus Christ, that you pointed out, I love that. Like you say, you can see the frost on my breath through my frozen phony smile. I mean, Jesus, that's gorgeous.
Oh, and he's gaslighting her too.
Exactly.
Right. Yes. Yes, Matthew. Yes.
Gaslighting the whole time. And yet,
yep.
Whoever he's talking to is also culpable. I don't want to let them, like, this is a scene. Everyone's in the scene. That he vacillates between I'm a little too high and you're a little too high. Everyone around them is a little too high. He's not just saying I'm a little too high. He bounces back and forth between you're a little too high, you're a little too high, I'm a little too high, right? The whole fucking scene is a little too fucking high. Let's all just and there's no connection. It's all about just beautiful imagery.
This is an extreme situation, and that's the excuse. You're a little too high.
Exactly.
Whatever.
Exactly.
I don't know.
But okay. First of all, that is gorgeous. This is one of Rob's absolute best cackles.
Oh my God! Could you imagine watching him do this? Would you?
It's my ringtone.
Exactly.
Oh, shut up! Shut the front door. Is it really?
Yeah, it is.
But oh my God!
Oh my God! What the fuck?
That whole line, what is the malaise on which my state is predicated? Could I be a little over medicated? I mean, that is so to the cackle. That is so fucking Rob. Into cackle. The doctor. What's my prognosis? And that's right at the fulcrum of the song, right at the middle point. And it's. And then as you talk about Matthew, it goes into that really crunchy fucking cocaine psychosis guitar riff, and then back into the da-da-da-da-da-da-da. That's always undercutting the whole fucking thing. Another one of their fractal songs where every aspect of it fits the meaning, fits the tone. It is a lot.
It's a little cuter than that, though.
It's just perfection. I think this song does not have a single flaw. It is grooving. It is on point. It's their most literal drug song, right? Like talk about drugs and addiction a lot of the ways. This is their most literal, like front to back song about drugs. I think they're mentioned elsewhere, including in the next song.
I don't do drugs, so I would know that.
Yeah, you wouldn't know. But
no.
She says as she sips her beer.
But what really struck me this time, because I've actually been taken with the song since I first heard it, was how Rob captured that feeling that I really remember that I've already mentioned, but I'm just going to mention it again, of how eloquent you can be and yet completely empty at the same time, which is, he doesn't do that in his songs often. Normally his eloquence is at the surface of something amazing. This is one of the few examples I can think of where his eloquence is meant to portray emptiness, not meant to point to something beautiful or menacing or deep,
right? Because he's doing drugs and it's phony.
This song is a masterpiece. Full stop.
That whole clade of drugs for me, it's like it's not my thing, because I have instances of every time I've done one of those ones, I'm like, I can feel myself turning into an asshole.
Yeah. No, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
My roommate Matthew's turning into a monster.
Actually, I guess my eyes are a little green.
You see my nose hairs? They're getting longer and longer.
I don't know. You guys both have facial hair.
So
I don't know where it starts and stops.
I guess that's it, right? We've got 3 of us on record for A Little Too High. So now we're going to move on to the last song of the evening. Oh No, Bruno. Wrong, 1989. I've already said that. Before we do it, let's listen to a little bit of this piece.
Too much, no escaping. Too much, you've been framed. Too much, got to knocking. Too much, not again. Oh no, Bruno. Too much, not enough. Oh no, Bruno. Too much, not enough. Oh no, Bruno, too much not in the hole. Oh no, Bruno.
10, 20 for 2, 30 for 6. You son of a bitch, go!
Oh no, Bruno. Oh no, Bruno. Oh no, Bruno. Too much, too much, too much, too much. Oh no, Bruno. Too much, too much, too much, too much.
Matthew, you're up.
Yeah, like I was saying, the party boy in A Little Too High is a predator. Bruno's just a dumb fuck. And I've read some stories. It's actually based on somebody they knew.
No shit. I've often wondered about that.
Story, but
Yeah, I didn't look it up or where I read this shit, but it's like, yeah, this dude basically would stay out all night. That's all right. He's just like crazy party boy. He would just like go way too far all the time, and still hold down a job, and sold cocaine to the cops one point.
oh no,
No shit. Wait, this is actually
I think
a
it's
true story?
I might be apocryphal.
Folklore?
I don't know. It might be folklore, but I remember that about this song. It's like,
So
what the
he's
fuck
in
is this song about? Because they're
jail?
always talking about it's like this fucking lunatic, and then all
the
these
cop's name
party
was
things
Baldwin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No. I think Bruno was someone they knew. Baldwin someone they knew.
What's with the B names?
But yeah, crazy all night. Worked a day job. All the references to different kinds of games is, he's hanging out with his buddies. He's not predatory, not after women like in A Little Too High. This guy's he's hanging out with his homies and everything like it. But play for stymies, I always kind of wondered what that was. I always thought it was stymies because I knew there was some sort of sports term.
Isn't it like beer steins?
No,
like
no.
A beer, no?
No, I think it's Steinlagers, like a cheap New Zealand
Little
bullshit
Rascals
lager.
character.
Okay, a beer. I always thought it was
Yeah.
a beer too, but like beer stein. But
Playing
yeah, that
for
makes
beers.
sense.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
playing for
think
beers.
so. I don't know. Play for cash, double bullseyes, darts. And then of course the famous like references to crib.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which I never fucking knew until fairly
Yes.
recently because I was never a cribbage player.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I should also say that in the liner notes, Steiny is misspelled. So it took me a little while to figure that out.
Oh my god, are you being that guy?
No, I
before
thought it was
E.
stymies because, and I learned this because initially I thought it was played for stymies, Stymies.
Which would have been what?
Stymie is an obscure rule in golf. So maybe, it's not that, but maybe Rob would know what it is
Early Rob Golf.
It's a
To
character on
to
Little Rascals.
stymie another character was apparently like if your ball landed in line with theirs, you weren't allowed to move it.
Oh,
Like,
well,
it
there's
wasn't
that
like-
word, like, I've been stymied. So that makes sense.
It's
Yeah.
a golf term. So
Yeah.
maybe
Oh,
it's
shit.
more to do with Rob these days. Anyway, best Andy scream ever, perhaps at the end, and then it just like this sharp, cold ending. This is maybe the moshiest No Means No song, and again, like I was talking about with the End of All Things, it kind of ended up annoying me because people used this song as an excuse to throw elbows.
I don't like that.
No, I
Yeah,
don't
and there's
like
always
it
that
either.
asshole
out.
on Live on Cuddly in the background who's going like, "Oh no, Bruno!
Yeah,
Oh no, Bruno!"
because he wants to go
Right?
fucking.
'Cause
He wants to throw
fucking-
elbows.
Yeah, well, boot him out. He's
Yeah.
I mean,
out
that
there.
guy, anyone shouting that is a Bruno, right? We're
Yeah.
agreed that it brings out the Brunos.
Super duper fun song, very very Ramonesy, Hanson-y, and super duper fun. But there's not much more to it than that. So there you go.
All right, Michelle.
Wow, I didn't think you were going to end it like that. This song, as far as I know, is the most recognized, popular, staple No Means No. I can't even say the fucking band's name right. No Means No song in existence. Wouldn't you say? Like, this is like their staple song. People go completely apeshit when they hear this. The room just explodes. And unfortunately, maybe some assholes are in there exploding. It's on the Hanson-y side of their repertoire, and grooves, kicks, and kills. It's so toe tapping, and it makes you want to careen around the room and dance like a spasmo. Not an asshole spasmo. Not an asshole spasmo. I added that after learning about assholes. The intro, what? Is hysterical.
Oh,
yeah.
so great.
And the
So
way
good.
it kicks in is stellar. My most favorite part, and you alluded to it, Matthew, my most favorite part is surprisingly in the lyrics, Matthew, as you alluded to, 10, 20 for 2, 30 for 6, you son of a bitch, go. And those are the exact words you would say if you were playing cribbage. I crapped my pants when I heard it after learning how to play the game. And everyone who's played that game says those exact words. I actually went up to Rob once when he was watching a band, opening band, perform before their gig, and I asked him if that's indeed what it was, and he said yes. I remember he was wearing a long leather trench coat and a hat.
Nice.
He just looked so great.
It's Mr. Happy uniform.
I don't know. It was a long black leather trench coat.
That's
and I
some
had
fucking slate ass shit.
nut sack to go up to him and ask him, and he was totally nice about it. And he was just wandering around the room and just being by himself. And I knew it was him, and I went up and asked him. But I remembered a fucking trench coat and the fedora.
Fedora. Oh, Jesus.
He was
He had
like
a
straight up
fedora.
slatery.
Yeah, Jesus. That is straight up fucking
Ah,
slavery.
he's slinky. He's a mysterious man.
That's the Mr. Happy cover, basically.
He's a mystery man.
Just a little aside to those games that they're talking. I mean, they refer to play for Steinies, play for. It's probably pool that they're playing. Double bullseye, darts. These are all like bar games.
Yeah.
Crib isn't, man. Cribs is what we play at your buddy's house.
Yeah, exactly.
It's so
Nice.
so fun. It's one of my favorite games I've learned how to play.
gotta
I
learn
even
that.
have it on my fucking iPhone so I can play it if I gotta kill some time waiting in
gotta
line
learn
at a
that.
bank. Oh my god, it's great.
You got anything else, Michelle?
That's it.
All right, I'll go. So, yes, this song is a laser guided precision punk missile that is very. I think it's probably one of their first explicitly really Hanson-y songs. This would be if you didn't know the band, you could play this right after playing one of their Hanson songs. You go like, wow, it's the same fucking band. And I agree, Michelle. I think a lot of people really know this song. If they know No Means No, they probably or more people who've tangentially heard of No Means No probably know the song and really love this song because it can connect with the widest audience. I think it's almost one of their most accessible songs.
Mm-hmm.
It's not off-putting. It's not weird. It's pretty straightforward. It's fucking gorgeous.
It's not scary.
It's not scary. It's kick-ass. It's my absolute least favorite song on the album, hands down. I've never really liked this song very much. Now, I'm not saying I don't appreciate it. I think it's great. I appreciate its virtuosity. This is absolutely not the side of No Means No I connect with. It's one of the things I love about this band. Everyone connects in a different way. This is not it. If I'd only heard this song, I would have been like, yeah, that's pretty good, but I would never have gone further. That would have been it. I would have been like, okay, well, I don't like, there's the Ramones, there's this, there's that, whatever. That's great. But it wouldn't have pulled me in. Now, in the context of Wrong, it's fucking great. It's a great palate cleanser before you get to the rest of the album.
Right.
It's fucking tight. It's gorgeous, and it's like intensity. They're so like no one else can do this kind of punk as well as they can, even though it can connect with a lot of people or sound like other bands that do it. But this is not the side of No Means No I love. I think I've probably made it not love that I prefer. I do love it. I think it's a great song. I'm not meaning to shit on it. It's just not my side. It's not the side of the band that I appreciate as much.
That's because you don't play cribbage.
That's probably it. That said, it's a great fucking song, right? I mean, this and I think there's probably I don't know how many, but there's got to be at least some of our listeners who would put this as their number one.
I bet there
certain
is.
people have said like, this is our number one song, and I'm not shitting on you. I think
Like
that's
that
great.
dude on Live and Cuddly in the back in Groningen or
I
whatever.
would not.
Bruno.
I would not
shut
fault anyone for thinking about that or thinking that. This is not shade meant on that, and you can if any shade you want thrown at me. It's not my song.
Doesn't do it for you.
It doesn't do it for me. Or not like the other ones do. I'd never skip it.
Right.
I'd never skip it, but I never seek it out. It's not when I'm like, oh, let me hear Oh No Bruno. Let me hear that one. Nope. I just listen to it if I'm listening to the whole album, but I don't I don't seek it out. So on that note, and because we're already at an hour 20 and haven't even finished the rest of the fucking pod, I think that's all I have to say about it. So it's not okay. People like long podcasts. I'm not worried about that. Let's do a vote. So Matthew, you get the honor of casting the first ballot.
Like so many of these, like I would tend to, had I not sort of sat down and listened to them, I probably would have just automatically gone to Ono Bruno because history, because it is fun and accessible and everything like that. But no, A Little Too High is so complex, and I'm going to listen to it some more and think about it some more, because there's a lot more to say about it, which is good because it is definitely the one I'm advancing, because we're going to have to say more shit about it anyway. Yeah.
Maybe.
Sorry, Bruno.
Maybe. Who knows?
You're
Michelle-
tired, Bruno. You have been partying too much. You can go home and go to sleep. Thank you.
We'll see.
Bruno.
Okay.
We'll see.
All right.
That's not a fait accompli yet. Michelle, what about you?
I have a feeling I will be representing many who love this song. I'm going to vote for Oh No Bruno, but
Excellent.
I do have a soft spot for that fucking A Little Too High. I do like it, but I voted Oh No Bruno, and now I know what's going to happen with you, Jordan.
Well, I'm glad you voted for Bruno, because I would not want this have been unanimous.
No, we got to represent.
The only way I
Gotta
ever would have
represent.
voted. The only way I ever would have voted for Bruno was if Wrong was the last album and this was by itself. Other than that,
Yeah.
Little
Nope.
Too High by
Now do it.
several football fields, I think.
Wow.
For sure.
Country Mile.
A country mile, and that's really just because Little Too High is more on the side of a really good example of. It's not even that it's a song that's like, oh, it got lucky going up against Bruno. It probably would have won against the number of songs.
It's got
just
its
love
own
it.
legs,
So-
man. That thing is sick.
All right, well, that's good. I love it when there's not unanimity-ness, and that's good.
Yeah.
And so at least you listeners have somebody to hang your hat on, and you can all love Michelle more than us, which you already do. So that fits.
Yeah, that's
fits.
the facts.
I wrote this in the margin of my notes for A Little Too High, but I wrote the words Jazz Odyssey.
Nice.
I've
Which
said
is so
that
appropriate
before.
on an album that has fucking Bitches Brew,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Like, yeah, it's right in the.
Well, we all know where the phrase Jazz Odyssey came from, right? I've used it before.
No.
I don't actually. I made it up myself.
Come
I thought.
on. Spinal Tap.
Oh,
Okay,
well,
yes,
there you go.
you're
It's
right.
probably it's probably
Jesus
in my
Christ.
DNA somewhere.
Oh, God. Okay.
All right, so we need to now,
Spinal
because
Tap.
I mean, while I know you all like listening to us talk a whole lot, we have actually been talking a lot tonight. So, but we do have one of my favorite segments to do, which
It's
is
the only reason I show up.
an Andy's Correction Corner. This time read to us by one of our other favorite hosts, Matthew.
Hi guys, here's some extra info on Day Everything Became Nothing and Obsessed. Day Everything Became Nothing. For a song I love so much, I have surprisingly little to say about it. One of my favorite No Means No songs to play. Lots of movement, dancing, and general jumping around when we played this one. The main riff during the verses reminds me of a whole lot of Change by Killing Joke. Fun fact, way back in 1981 at Emma's house, hi Emma, when my pal Kev Lee and I met John for the first time, I noticed him in a wrong room off of the hallway, stereo cranked up, dancing on his own to Change. Oh my God. That's quite the mental image.
Great.
Ooh.
My
With
favorite...
his
In Bermuda
Pants.
shorts.
No.
And fanny
he
pack.
was he wasn't doing that back then.
My
He had
favorite
some,
lyric?
pants and shoes.
We talked about things like assured mutual destruction and emotional responsibility. Ha ha ha! Music-wise, despite sounding quite chaotic at times, the Day Everything has a very set structure. But at the end of the song, we got to play around quite a bit and improvise to our heart's delight for a while before the song wrapped up. I remember Rob teaching me the notes for the tail end of the middle bridge and making a point of the fact that he wanted us to both to play the same note, same octave, alternating back and forth between two different strings. He explained that the tone on the two strings are slightly different from each other down to the different string thickness and tension. He was right. We were often very fussy, anally retentive, about specific little things like that. No, surprise, surprise. We couldn't quite figure out a natural way to end the song that sounded half decent, so we went to the absurd choice, a simple ascending chromatic scale. Silly, yes, but it worked not only as a way to finish the song, but as a handy way in a live setting to lead into the following song in the set. I remember reading this because it was I parked my car and read it. It came in. I was walking to my second vaccination. Anyway.
This is Matthew talking right there.
Yeah.
Oh! I was gonna say, hey, wait.
Yeah.
Okay,
It's just
cool,
an aside from me. Sorry.
Yeah.
P.S.
no.
The translation in Dutch, courtesy of Ingrid, was "Dit dag das alles in niets opging." Forgive my.
I think John says that. Weren't we saying Rob was
it's Rob.
saying that?
It's Rob.
No, not
It's
the
Rob.
video I watched.
Really?
John said it.
Ooh, nice.
I don't know. Maybe it was he said it. Maybe they all
No,
took
you could be
turns
right.
saying it.
Anyway,
I
yeah,
don't
keep
know.
going.
Obsessed, a John song written on keyboards. This is a real mother of a song for Rob and I to learn. What is semi-basic fingering on a keyboard is quite awkward on a guitar fretboard. Add to that yet another silent first beat of the main riff, and you can imagine it took a bit of time before Rob and I got it down securely. You may or may not know this, but the song originally had lyrics written and sung by John. Not sure why they got dropped, but maybe we thought the song was stronger without them. As for the subject matter of the words, let's just say, think Sex Mad 2.
The Electric Boogaloo.
No kidding.
Once, when we played in a squat in Oslo, that's a great band name, isn't it?
Squat
in Oslo.
Squat in Oslo.
Squat in Oslo.
We were told that the old Norwegian king at the time was very ill and in the local hospital. Despite being a monarch, he was generally loved. So when we started our set, we came up with the idea to play super quietly for this first song so as to not disturb the resting king. And the first song was Obsessed. So we played it just as fast as always, but as quietly as humanly possible.
Oh my god.
So good. That is so good. Thank you, Andy. Jesus.
Yeah. Wow.
Oh, that is so
That's
good.
fucking fascinating, eh?
Yeah.
That is so
Jeez.
good. All right.
Wow.
Well, listen, everybody, you made it. You made
This
it
is
through
the
another
longest-
episode.
this is
This
the
might
longest
be the
episode
longest so far, which
No, it is.
you know,
Absolutely is.
probably worth it. These songs all deserved it, but we
Oh,
really,
man.
really appreciate you listening. Again, find us on the socials if you haven't already. Also, you know what? I'd like to ask of all of you: spread the word. If you
Please
haven't
do.
already, if you have fans or people you want to introduce to the band too, which come on, we got to spread the name of these guys. Got to stay.
Right.
Oh.
They got to get famous forever.
I've been
Pass it
evangelizing
around.
at work, man.
Yeah,
I've been
pass it around, man. Like
That's
let
why you
people
got
know.
the job. So
At
you
one
can
point-
spread the word.
At one point, you know, I was asking for people to do iTunes reviews, which great, do it if you want, but that's not gonna get us any more listeners. We need you guys to spread the word, and not for our own egos, although sure that's part of it, but just so that more people can know about this band. Right?
Yes.
Let's spread the word. We're all you know, this is our Mormon mission, as it were, but for non-Mormons, or maybe
You know,
some
I
Mormons
think
out
I'd go
there.
door to door for this. I think I
fucking
would.
do it.
On the
Probably.
bike with a shirt and a tie.
Do
I
it, and
probably
I
would.
will appear on the internet in my magic underwear.
Exactly. Now the gauntlet has been dropped. So, but you know, find us on our Facebook group, No Means Nothing Podcast Facebook group. We're on Twitter, No Means Nothing. We're on Instagram, No Means Nothing. There's even a bullshit little fucking TikTok at No Means Nothing now that my daughter roped me into.
Yeah.
So if you want a little Easter egg, go see that weird fucking thing. So find us there. And other than that, listen, we seriously love you. This
Yep.
is fucking great. Thank all of you. And yeah, we'll see you next time. And just
Thank you all for your submissions, and thanks you all for your support and everything like that.
Yep.
It is an honor to do this, and keep it coming. Thanks.
Yep. And I really just want to make clear that if I take a shit in your perfect world, it's only so you'll know me by my smell.
Mm.
Delicious.